Well, hello nail friends and welcome back to the channel, and I'm Miss Nail Struggles herself, and I try to eliminate your nail struggles by trying all the nail things so you don't have to. So today I am going to use my 4 nail bits that you may or may not have seen on my channel. If not, they should be up right about in the cards. So if you have not hit like or subscribe, now is your opportunity. Yeah, baby. Anywho, I'm going to go ahead and guess what we are going to do, people, so that we can get to the meat and potatoes of said video, and that is dive right into the video. Alright people, today we are going to show you those 4 of my favorite nail drill bits that it is that I like to use, but I am going to go step by step how I use all of them so that you can see them in operation, because you know what, it's no good if you don't know how it is they work. So let me show you just kind of my processes, and we're going to zoom you in a little bit more so that you can see exactly what it is that I do. The first thing that I love to do is push back my cuticles. Now this is a pusher from Medusa Nails. It's one of my favorite cuticle pushers only because there's a sharp end here that helps you really scrape up and get all of that cuticle, the waxy substance, off of your nail. Another type of pusher that you can use is this little thing right here, which you can use to, if you have to, you want to make sure that you're always very gently. Don't be trying to stab and jab your nail, people, but you want to gently push back. Don't be... Once you gently push that proximal nail fold back, then you can use that to kind of like scrape up all the nastiness on the nail if you happen to use these pushers. But I like this one because the head is already angled, and I just pretty much have to just kind of go around my new growth here and do said A, B, X, Y, and Z to make this really, really simple for me. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push them back. Now, I'm going to go off camera because I am going to go ahead and remove these little rhinestones that are on my nail. And I'm sure you don't want to wait all day to watch me pluck those babies off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the next bit that I am going to show you all is this beauty right here that I showed you all, and I'm going to go right close to the camera. It is my medium grit nail cuticle bit. I love this thing. I do use it in reverse at about 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs. One of the reasons why is because you don't want it too hard, and you also want to make sure that you are not digging into that nail. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that, and you can kind of see with me in reverse, I'm kind of just taking my time and kind of going around, you know, that proximal nail fold. And as you see the white on the plate. That is my nail. That is actually that nice little cuticle substance, that waxy substance coming up off of the nail plate, because I already pushed back my cuticles as much as I did. I do not like nipping cuticles on myself. Sometimes I have to nip them on other people because, I mean, goodness gracious, some people's grow like wildfire, as fast as wildfire spreads. Okay, and sometimes those suckers are just sticky and they're up on the nail plate, and you definitely have to be very careful. So this is just how I utilize my cuticle drill bit. Alright, and so the next thing that we are going to see, so that I can go ahead and prep both of my hands, and you're not going to be able to see all of that on camera because guess what, people? Well, maybe I'll show you a little bit. I'm on this side, and what I do like to do is that I stop my e-file. I have the Young Nails e-file that I'm using for this, and I like to put it in reverse and then go ahead and I kind of hold my nail file like this. I am right hand, so you know it can be a little bit difficult trying to, you know, do your opposite, you know, non-dominant hand. So you know what I mean. But this is what I do so I can get that cuticle up off of that nail plate. And so you're getting to see kind of like how I do this on both nails when I'm doing my prep. Doing this really does kind of ensure that I get minimal to no lifting. My nails they're absolute trash. If you only know some of the stuff I've done, they have been filing other people's. If you ever do nails, you'll begin to learn and discover that when you do nails, you file your own nails a lot. You will even file into your skin, and if you're not careful, especially on your index fingers, if you know, depending on what hand that you are dominant in, you will have file marks into your hands. I tend to wear these $1 here. I'll pull it out so that you all can see. These $1 little rubber covers I get from the dollar store, that when I'm filing on somebody, I put it onto my nail or even onto my thumb so that I'm not filing into my skin. So those are some of my tips and tricks, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this here on this hand, and when I come back we're going to be on to step 2, because now we have to get this hard gel and that off of my fingernails. Okay, next I'm going to show you how it is. I use this puppy right here. This is the double orange crush football bit that I get from Atwood Industries, and you've seen in my previous video. It is a little pricey, but I honestly will not do nails without it, especially if you are doing extensions. This puppy is either 30 or 40 bucks, and you know, as I mentioned in previous videos, it is a skin safe bit, so even if it gets kind of like on the side, even when it's spinning, it really shouldn't do too much harm, but you're not just wanting to sit on the nails. So I'm going to do one nail to show you how this comes off and how I use it, and then I'll go off camera and I'll finish the rest and we'll go on to bit number 3. But I want you to know that when I do use this, I literally turn my E-file all the way up, because when you have fluted bits like this, I know it may be scary, but you do not want to use these at a low revolution per minute. You want to turn them all the way up. That will help you get the most effective use out of this bit, because that's also the way it was created, so it will help you to be able to remove and take down product. So. I know my dust collector is on, but as you see, it is literally peeling away. And I wear a hard gel polish on top of my acrylic. So this is a File Off product, and as you see, that puppy is coming right off of there. You can also use this bit to like take down product a little bit, and I also use it when I'm trying to take down my nails just a smidgen, and as you see, it just cleans through that. On to bit number 3. All right, using my third bit. It is the Mandrel Bit. Right now it's spinning at about 4,000 RPMs. This is what I use to clean up any, you know, leftover polish and to prep my nail for acrylic application. So you'll see me very gently go around the edges, and then you'll see here, we'll turn it to the side. I kind of try to keep more parallel. I don't try to tilt it at an angle. I'm really trying to keep a little more parallel to the nail, because if you don't, you will literally dig out that nail, and that is one of the reasons why you can cause rings of fire. Okay, have you never seen that? Any of you that have worn acrylic nails and maybe have gotten your nails done at those fast shops and that, they do sometimes a pretty good job of, you know, kind of digging that natural nail out of there. Okay, I also use this bit, like if I have a smidget, a bit of lifting and that, then I will use this. This is a 150 grit arbor band, which is about a medium grit. This is usually what I use when I'm trying to flick away. As we see here, you can see, I'll get it closer in the camera so that you can see. Okay, the dust is kind of covered, but you see I have the smidgetest of lifting there on the corner there. This is what I use. I try to go right above where the lifting is and kind of just take my time, and it kind of flicks it away, like literally will just flick away. If you do good prep on your nails, this is a way for you to ensure longevity on your nails and for them not to stay on and lift, because you don't want any nasties growing up under your nail and that. So we're going to see here, I do have some leftover polishes. Sometimes I'll use this to even do a little bit of filing on the side of the nail to kind of clean it up in preparation for acrylic. And again, I like to just lightly tuck in, and I literally do tuck in to try to get all around that nail, even right up until that proximal nail fold, or as in some places some people call it cuticle. Now, forgot to show you this before I do. Normally I take a hand file, and I don't do like this, but I literally go into the front of the band like this to get off any burrs, so that I don't have to worry about any burrs on the edges clipping myself and that. Okay, so you definitely want to do that before you start to use your arbor band. This will help you literally get all the way up next to that proximal nail fold to really make sure that you are prepping that nail. I also use this to smooth out, whisk away, like I said, any bits of lifted nail in that, and at times help me when I am trying to smooth out the edge of the nail. I like to hold it and kind of go in, and as we see, kind of straighten out the edge of the nail so that I have less filing to do once I lay my acrylic. I usually do a very good job of pretty much laying my acrylic so that I don't have a whole lot of filing in that to do. Now, you will probably have seen my crusty nails on some of the other videos. I tend to wear my nails a little bit thicker because I end up in some very precarious positions, and what I have noticed for me, okay, this is for me, this does not have to be for you, but if I wear my nails too thin and just over the what I call the hump of the apex, sometimes I can experience breaking. But when I tend to wear them a little thicker, and when some of the things and outside interests in that I have that I'm involved in, it's with cars and that, people, before you can get your minds out of the flipping gutter, okay, people? I usually am able to, you know, work on cars or do whatever else it is that I'm sticking my hands into without the worry of my nails having to break off and you know, the engine and that on me. You definitely don't want that. Now, one of the reasons you want to make sure you go this way on the nail file and not this way, because if you're doing this and you're seasoning the edge, that's the edge that's supposed to be used to get tucked around your cuticle. And if you take all of the grit off of the sanding band, then you're not gonna have anything left to help you be able to tuck right into that that cuticle proximal, nail fold area, whatever it is you want to call it, people, okay? Into making sure that you get the nail prep properly. Now, one thing that I also like to do is that right now I'm running this at about 4,000 RPMs. I go as high as 6, depending on what it is that I'm trying to do. And because I'm trying to show you all this, I'm going a little bit slower and just taking my time. Now, you don't want to keep doing this over the natural nail. If you do that, you're going to dig out that natural nail. So I really, literally, I have the smidgiest of lifting. I'm going right behind the lifting, being very gentle, gently, and it literally will, if I'm right behind it, will literally flick away on its own. And again, use this to clean up the rest of this nail. I had rhinestones on it, so you got to get all of that gem glue off, because that gem glue was real. I almost hurt my hand, almost stabbed myself with my cuticle nippers trying to get the doggone rhinestones off my hand. Nevertheless, I am going to finish up said filing on my nails, and I'll be right back with you. For the sake of you guys being like, you didn't show me how you do this on your other hand, I'm going to show you. Right now I'm in reverse, spinning at about 5,000 RPMs, and you will see that I am going to lightly go around the edge of the nail. I do this on top of the acrylic first, just to make sure that I am getting all of the leftover polish and that off of my nail first, and to kind of smooth it out a little bit where the previous bit might have caused an issue. Now, you do want to be careful with this, because if you just didn't see what I did, was I slipped, because you're not really supposed to go back and forth. You're supposed to just, really go in one direction. I use this kind of to thin out the apex a little bit if I have not done so with the previous bit. And again, just very gently going around the nail and tucking right up into that cuticle to get that nail prepped. And I'm going to show you one more time before I come back after I have laid said acrylic, and then we'll be able to show you how my fourth bit works to give me the most optimal results for my nails. Alright, nail friends, we are back, and I'm going to show you my last bit, which is this silver tapered bit that I get from Coupa. That's where I primarily get these, but I know that there's one on Amazon that I've used as well, so I'll make sure I try to link that for you too. Once I've laid my acrylic, I like to go around the edge in order to seal it, okay? So you're gonna see a couple of my nails that looks a little thickums, only because they are a hot mess, and so I needed to build them up so I can break them back down into the right place. So yeah. Alright, sometimes it just looks ugly before it looks pretty, but we're going to go ahead and switch this thing into forward, and I'm going to run this maybe about 7,000 RPMs, and then we're just going to lightly take this around the said edge, okay? So now you're getting to see that how I use these bits and just kind of going around the cuticle in order to seal it and to kind of make that cuticle area a little thinner. So hopefully you got to see that I'm not digging into the nail like from here. I'm not doing this. I'm kind of more so parallel just right up until the apex and that, and just taking my time and just really being careful and going around that cuticle area, because you know I don't want to be slicey McDicey on myself. And then I can also use this to like thin down a little bit of the walls and that as well, if I see that something is a little thick on the end, and that just kind of take my time. Like this one, they come pretty sharp, so when you do get them, I want to tell you that one of the things that you do want to do is take a file, and you want to easily just run it over the file just like this, because when they're machined, there's little burrs and edges that end up on the edge of the bits, and so you just want to make sure that you get those off so that they don't snag on your skin while you're doing this. So now you got to see how I use my 4 bits and what I use them for, and then I can also use this bit too when I want to take out some of the apex and kind of thin it down when I'm trying to get into that cuticle area. This is being run in forward, so for those of you that don't know, if you're right hand and you are working on yourself, you should be working on forward if you're going to pull the e-file from the left side of your nail over to the right. But if you decide, you know, that's actually one of the most proper ways to learn how to use the e-file, but if you decide that you want to, you know, it's easier for you to go from the right around to the left, then the e-file should be in the reverse position this way, because if not, you'll feel it skipping, and you don't want yourself becoming, as Tracy Ryerson has said, a blood sister. You look up and you're bleeding all over the place. You don't want that, ma'am and sir. You don't want that. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead so that I can finish my nails, and so you've got an opportunity to see how it is that I use all 4 bits in action, because you know why? I want you to have the best things and the best nail experience, and that as well help you to be able to do your nails when you need to, you know, thin them out, or you finding the best bits so you don't have to be like me and try 10,000 of them, it feels like. Anywho, I love you. Take an opportunity to love yourself today, because guess what? The world is hard enough on you. You don't need to be hard on yourself too. And you know what it is that I'm about to say, people. Life is too short to wear boring nails. So don't. And we're out.